All right, so this is where the story gets so crazy. I gotta start proving things, and um, so since the last video that night, I was sort of planning on making the next video the same night, and something was telling me, just sleep on it. Like there's a lot of things I have to prove. So I was just trying to think about it, and um, next morning I woke up like an hour early because I got to bed early, and I wake up. Look, this situation is all I think about every single morning. The second I open my eyes, second I gain consciousness, this whole crazy situation is exactly what I'm thinking about. Um, so I wake up and I'm thinking about how am I gonna get all the proofs into the next video? And I my Spotify alarm goes off. My alarm clock is set to Spotify, and I catch the very tail end of a song called "Last Train to Paradise," which was what I was listening to that night, which means something because I referred to her exact location as Paradise only two a few weeks before I you'll get the proof. You'll get the proof. It's crazy that song played, so I can even show that to you right now in the proof. Point is, I had like 5 minutes before going. Uh, I have to prove this too, and I put a note in. Okay. Let me switch camera. I gotta start proving this right now. So crazy. Okay. This is a busted up phone. So I hope this goes smoothly. Okay, so these are my notes, right? And I'm just keep on recording crazy things that keep on happening. Events that have been lining up. So February 13th, that is, yeah, day after I uploaded the last video. And this is the net. Can I see? Oh man, it doesn't show the time anymore. Wish I could. Can I see the time? When it was the same day I wrote this, it showed the time. It doesn't show the time. But this was written at 5:58 before I went into work. So I woke up an hour early thinking about how I'm going to record the next part of the story, me being on the ridge and wanting to stay. I'm gonna get to that. That's what I'm gonna have to prove right now in this video. I was going to go into work 15 minutes early, but it was cold in the truck. I just wanted to get in, but I didn't because I had a feeling Spotify was gonna play a song I could relate to, and I waited 5 minutes to add just because I had a feeling. The song that came on was "Stay," and that song is the best thing that could have came on to relate to the video that I was about to make. And I started crying in just enough time to write this note before going into work. February 13th. I wish it showed the time. Okay. Now, next evidence of proof. Okay, I go to my Spotify history. I do not have Spotify Premium. It plays whatever it feels like playing. And if I go to February. Oh, right. It's not showing the date. Okay, but yeah, point is yesterday. So 12th, then yesterday. The first thing, songs is the tail end of the last song I was talking about, Last Train to Paradise, which I was referring to her location of her house as a paradise. And then I get the song Stay right after. Oh, and then while I'm writing the note, I get this song, which is a beautiful song. So I'm getting this beautiful song while I'm writing this note. Just crazy. Okay. Now what's the next thing of proof? Okay. Text message. Now, okay, I'll switch back to me and I'll tell you what happened. On with the story. What happened the night before was too crazy not to say right now. Okay. So, we left off with the story as I decided I gotta make a dating profile just to find some girl to be friends with, right? And the way Facebook the Facebook dating profile thing works is you have to be in a specific location. You can't basically to set your location to a certain spot. You have to be in that location. That way, you can't lie about where you're located and stuff. It makes sense. So I'm looking on a map, and I in previous video I explained I was going between Delaware Water Gap and Dingman's Ferry, looking for a girl to be friends with already. So, and I was already I considered Crater Lake a few times already. So I'm looking at a map and I see the most convenient spot for me to find a girl would be like Stillwater, and it's the exact where I know, it's where everything I know is and all that. So, making this dating profile, I go up to Crater Lake late at night, and actually I wasn't planning on going all the way. I actually got to near where the Fountain of Youth is and the trail to the fire tower going up the ridge. And I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm gonna sleep here. I'm in my truck camper thing I built. Like, nah, I'm gonna sleep here. But something was telling me, no, keep going. I was just thinking, like, I'm tired. Like, why am I having this urge to just get all the way to Crater Lake tonight? And ended up turning the truck back on. I don't know why I'm doing this. Whatever. I'll just go to Crater Lake. Not too tired to drive or anything, but I'm like, just why am I doing this? I just want to go to bed. I get to Crater Lake, and again, where I wanted to make that dating profile, and I started thinking, I love this area. I really do. Like, I don't want to. I wish I could stay. And again, the song "Stay" that came up. I was thinking how I want to stay. My plan was to move to Washington State. For reasons. I had plans, and I for the sake of keeping the video short, I won't go into the plans, but every single plan has fallen apart. Every single part of it is falling apart now. Anyway, thinking like, where I am on this ridgeline, this is like a small version of Washington State itself. I'm thinking I have down the hill on the other side of me, I always forget the name of the lake, but it's a beautiful, crystal clear water. And that's what one of the things I want about Washington, lakes on the top of mountains that are beautiful. And there's that one I was thinking, and Crater Lake itself is also just beautiful, and parked there, and I'm thinking, I wish I could stay. And I think, well, what if, and I think about a girl I used to date, and I think about how the point of Washington is that I get to go on hikes to lakes up a mountain. I'm thinking I'm around lakes up a mountain, and I remembered how for a while I was trying to buy a house sort of down the hill in a certain, I can't go, I don't want to go too much into the specific locations because of privacy, but there's a spot I always wanted to have a house. It was called a place me and my friends called Camp Kiamisha, and there's a lake there. And I always wanted a house in that spot. And thinking, yeah, if I had a house there, I could hike up the mountain, and it would be like a mini Washington. It'd be great. And then I thought of the girl I used to date, who lived very close to that area. And I started genuinely thinking, could I make it work with her somehow? I was thinking of all the traits I would look for in a girl, and I'm thinking, no, her traits don't line up with that. I tried to make it work with her, and I couldn't. And the biggest reason I couldn't make it work, I don't have to hide, is just religious difference. I was just super, super religious, and she wasn't. She was a Catholic, and something felt so fundamentally wrong with it. I couldn't get her to go to the game, go to church with me at Sparta E Free. Something felt so wrong about that. But I always liked the location of her house. And I was even thinking, like, oh, well, what? For a split second, I thought, oh, yeah, like, too bad, she wasn't Christian. And I thought, why did I think that? That went through my head. I'm like, why did I think that? Again, I don't think that thought was for me. And I'm thinking, no, I don't even know what I believe anymore. And I'm thinking, the problem is, I have to find someone that's okay with religion so they get along with my family very nicely and they fit in, but they'd also have to accept that I don't know what to believe. Anyway, I start thinking about the location of this girl's house I used to date, and I remember there's a beautiful view she had where you could at least when there were no leaves on the trees, you get a beautiful view of all the lights of the town in the distance and stuff like that. I was thinking, but no, it'd be better if her house is on the other side of the road. That way I could hike up here quicker and stuff like that. I also thought about how for a while, I scouted the whole woods from Camp Kaimisha to that. Not the whole woods, but a significant portion around Camp Kaimisha, because I wanted to make it, not a lie, I had to put quotes around this, a mountain biking trail. I wanted to make a mountain biking trail that would go up to that spot eventually. Keep that in mind. And, but I was thinking, nah, it'd be better if she lived on the other side of the road, I guess I shouldn't see the name of the road either. It was a road I was house shopping on with my ex. So, this is where I gotta prove it. This is where I prove this happened. Back to my phone. And I already did discuss this with this girl. She knows what was going through my head that night and all that. I explained it to her. So you can see the date change, October 3rd this was. I'm on the Appalachian Trail next to Crater Lake, sleeping in the truck, of course. Tempting to go for a night swim, but it's cold. I'll go in tomorrow, looking at the Milky Way, listening to beavers splash. Basically, I'm explaining. This is my way of saying I'm in love with this place. Hold on, this camera's a little dirty, I think. And then I say this, because we grew up here, never really appreciated what we have. This place is basically a paradise. I hope you appreciate this area and use it. I never fully did. And switching I can't switch that half busted up phone. Hold on. Okay. I can only see one half of the screen ahead of time. Okay. Starting to cry. The reason I said basically paradise was because I thought it'd be better for houses on the other side of the road. And I also said that because, well, what was going through my head is I wish I could transport this town to Washington and just restart my friend group, because I was thinking that night, another one of my things was, I feel like I've lost all my friends around here. I only had one friend that lived in Pennsylvania. All my friend group was gone. I was thinking, too bad I didn't have all my friends again. I'd love to stay in this area. The one thing when I said basically a paradise that did go through my head is I thought of the view her house had. But I noticed how if she built her house on the other side of that spot, there wouldn't be a view because the hill would be blocking it. And it was... when I eventually went on, I don't know how much I was talking about future events, in this. Not future is in future, my past now, but I don't know if I'm gonna find a good way to squeeze this in, but when I eventually went on the date with her, I confused the location of her house. I also found the location of her house very, very quick, partially because of where I was imagining someone when I made that dating profile. And when I got to her house, she knows, because of something that happened, that I was off on the location of her house. I was still thinking of where I was imagining beforehand. And I never told her any of this because I didn't think she would believe me. I didn't want her to think I was a fake person. So I never got to say any of this. And, but I noticed something. Because I did, again, future, I made all my friends back within a week of meeting her. Like, it was maybe 2 weeks. It was crazy. I can't just, but I had to drive past her house at night to get to another friend's house, and I noticed something. The view that the other girl had, she had the same view. So she built a house in a spot better than I had previously dreamed, better than I had imagined. She built her house in exactly my dream location. And I think that's enough evidence with the text I sent that night to prove it. I have to prove that I made a dating profile that night in that area. That's what the next part I have to prove is. Okay, switch camera. Okay, switching off from the text. So keep in mind this is October 3rd. Okay, so let's go to my photos now. This is the morning after. And I went for a swim, like I said, in Crater Lake, and then I climbed the cell phone tower. When I climbed the cell phone tower, I was thinking, boy, if I had a girl to be friends with, would I really be doing this? Sorry, this is an abandoned ham radio tower. I was taking these pictures to make a dating profile. Nope. And this proves this was trying to make a dating profile. The contrast is really not showing up with my eyes see it fine. Point is, there we go. Climbed a tower for sunrise. That was me titling a picture to put in a dating profile. I think I will go to part of the conversation with her now. Let's see. And this is the dating profile. And I find it odd you just found me and followed me. Again, that was... And there's one thing that might have been a partial lie I have to point out. I said, didn't I say somewhere this was I think I said somewhere in this conversation. Oh, made it a few days ago. Look, so these, can I see dates on here? Nope. No. I wanted to see a date. Can I see the dates on when these texts were sent? Point is that this was about 2 weeks, not a few days, but I felt comfortable saying I only made it a few days ago because it was only a few days ago I totally updated the description to make it more clear that I was just looking for a friend. But me updating that description made it that more tailored specifically for her. So yeah, I quite literally made a dating profile looking for the girl of my dreams, and instead, she comes to me. Crazy. And yeah. when we first started communicating is going to be the start of the next video.